Earlier, I touched very briefly on emotions. Now let's talk about conquering yours, even when you're losing your cool. First, let me say that emotions do belong in the workplace. Emotions add personality and energy. You want to use emotions to indicate enthusiasm, passion for an idea you wish to promote, or passion about an idea you think is a bad one. People follow those who believe in what they are saying, and you can't convince someone that you believe without showing emotion. You can't express sympathy to a colleague who has suffered a loss without emotion. You can't successfully argue a position without emotion. You can't celebrate success without emotion. So emotions do belong in the workplace. That said, there is, of course, such a thing as emotional intelligence, appropriate use of that energy and enthusiasm, tempered excitement, restrained debate. And let's face it, we've all lost our cool at one time or another. Hopefully, we're all grown up enough to apologize after the fact. So, how do you keep from losing that cool in the first place? Here are a couple of ideas that might work for you. First, if you know you have to have a difficult conversation, practice. Out loud. Walking around. Repeatedly. In my career, I've had to fire 4 different people. Those were mighty tough conversations. But I didn't toss and turn at night worrying all about them. I had a plan of action, and I implemented that plan long before the conversations. I figured out what to say, how to say it, and I anticipated what the other person might say in response. Then I would practice out loud, walking around my house. I also got used to looking the person in the eye by practicing on my dog. That's right, I would fire my dog again and again until I felt I had the words right and could concentrate on the other person's reactions. All 4 of those conversations went so well that, each one of them thanked me afterward. One fellow even offered to buy me lunch if we could keep talking. He said it was a valuable conversation and he wanted to keep at it. Now, if you're wondering how all this happened, remember what I said earlier. Plan what to say, how to say it, and anticipate what the other person might say in response. I did that a lot. And I knew that I had 2 messages for each person. First, this job is not a good fit, and so you are through. Second, here are the skills that I see strongest in you, so here are the kinds of jobs I would consider if I were in your position. See? Anticipate and be ready to respond. Here's the second idea. Be aware of your own buttons. I don't mean the ones on the shirt. I mean the ones that others seem to push, and tuck them away before the conversation. You got to remember that this person might be a real pill, but he or she isn't really that important in your life. He has the ability to affect how you do some of your work some of the time, and that's it. That's the only relationship you have. Hey, at least you're not related. Next, approach the conversation with the goal in mind. After the conversation is over, what do I want this other person to do? Keep that in mind, and you won't go in the ditch in the middle of the conversation. Keep your eye on the destination, not on the bumps in the road. If you're inclined to get heated with a particular person, for heaven's sakes, don't meet in a small, closed space. Get outdoors. Go for a walk together. The exercise of walking will burn off excess energy and anxiety. If it begins to get a little testy, pick up the pace. It's hard to wave your arms and get red in the face when you're pumping those arms and trying not to pant. Most of us get over-emotional at work, not because of what is happening right now, but because of the accumulation of frustration over time. the person we're dealing with or the topic under discussion once again, one of these has become a sore spot for us. So we bring that past baggage into the present conversation. Try to remember that this is a new day and a new opportunity to begin. Get your facts straight and try a new approach. If the front door doesn't open, go around back. Finally, keep a glass of water handy. Believe it or not, simply taking a couple of easy sips of water will reverse the fight or flight reflexes of the body. It's an old trigger. Basically, it signals that the danger must have passed because we're stopping at a watering hole. Your body relaxes, the adrenaline slows, and you get a chance to regroup, to think about your next strategy.